I'm not sure when I'm gonna get used to like opening videos, but here we are. And I saw Larry do this video and I was like, that's a good idea, because I wanted to film, there's a fly flying around here. I wanted to film a video of all the books I read in January, February, March, so the first quarter. But then I was like, that might be kind of long, because I'm already in the works of a long video. So I was like, So she did her top 5 in the first quarter of the year. There's the fly. So I'm not gonna go, I don't think I'm gonna go in any particular order, but I do think I'm gonna start off strong with my number 1. So that's gonna be the only order, because then after this we'll just kind of go. But so I have 4 right here, and then the 5th one is on Kindle Unlimited. I read it on there. So the first book that I want to talk about as one of my favorites for the first quarter of the year is Kristen Hanna's new book, The Women. This book I read right away, okay? And it did to me what Kristen Hanna's books always do to me. It made me cry. When I ended the book, I was like, really? That's how you're gonna do it? But then, since I've read this book, like I read it the day it came out, the day after it came out. Since I've read this book, I have thought about it, I'm not lying, every other day. It is like just a work of art. The way she brings you into the Vietnam War on the base that she worked at, it was impeccable. It was beautiful. It was heartbreaking. It was a piece of our history, and I really loved reading about it. I loved the strength of the women in this book. I loved everything about it. I didn't love what obviously they went through. I gotta change my battery. We're back. So I didn't love, obviously, like, you know, the war and the dying and stuff. It was history, so it made it real. But just reading about what they went through when they came back on our soil, about how the women wasn't even recognized as participating in the war in any fashion. It was just a truly good book, and I wanted it to end a completely different way. I wanted it to have more of a happy ending, and I guess she might have ended up being happy, but the way it ended, like, you know, it was gonna get there, but I just wasn't happy right after I closed the book. But as I sat on it, I was like, well, sometimes that's life. Sometimes it's not always rainbows and all of that goodness, but I would think this is my first 5-star and my only 5-star of the year. I highly recommend this book. If you love Kristen Hanna, this might be one of my top 3 of her books. Go read it. Okay, so then I'm gonna just grab off the top. So then I have The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. I liked this one the best out of the trilogy. Maybe because it was like second chance, and that's kind of like the reality of what my personal relationship with my husband is. So this one just kind of spoke out to me more, but I liked it. And I liked the female main character. I liked the struggles that the main male character, well, I didn't like his struggles, but I liked how hard, I guess, in the end he really fought his own demons. And it was just a good book. I really enjoyed the whole series, but I would have to, if I had to pick, it would be this one, and it made it to my top 5 of the first quarter. I mean, what you expect? What did you expect? Into the Dark. This is the 5th book in the Magnolia universe, but the 3rd book of Magnolias. It jumps off into heaviness, into grief, and I guess the struggles of when you lose someone that close. Fortunately, I haven't experienced that yet, but reading about someone who did, and just how everybody grieves differently, and BJ was not a favorite. He's still not my favorite guy in here. I am a Julian girly all the way, but he really came through. I really did appreciate his character in this book, so it was a good book. I'm more anxious for Daisy's 3rd book, but this is a top 5 winner, I guess you would say. I really love this book. Say You Swear. This book, when I tell you, I was updating my husband every other chapter, and in the end, every chapter. Noah in this book is what dreams are made of. He is what you would want in a guy, or your daughter to find in a guy. Like, he is just amazing. His relationship with his mom, his relationship with her, everything. It's, you know, kind of like set in college, beginning of college, the summer at the beach. There's football. He plays football. There's a little bit of a love triangle. It kind of reminds me of the situation of like where one person in particular might not want you until they see somebody else want you, or see you with somebody else. That type of love triangle. No cheating, I don't believe, but there was something that happened to her, and the way he never left her side through that. And then in the end, how she just started piecing it back together. Like, just the letter from the mom. Like, it, oh my goodness. It was good. Like, and I actually forgot how much I really enjoyed this book until I gathered all like the books and kind of like went through what I read so far. And this was a really good read. The last book I'm gonna put up right here, Running Wild. This is another book in a series, and I think it was my favorite out of this series. In the first 2 books, this chick is in it, but she's not the main character. And I was like, I see you over there, like, I don't really know how I'm feeling about you. But when I got her book and her story, and just the main male character in that book, and it focuses around moving on after the death of a spouse, and y'all share a child. It was that, and it was just, it was good. That's all I got to say about all of them, huh? It was good. It was good. It was good. It's based out of Alaska, and I think she's a veterinarian. I'm so bad at remembering. I just know I liked it, and I know I wanted to do this video. So let's go back. Yep, she's a veterinarian. Her name's Marie, and she was into her best friend, who's a guy, and who was the main male character in the other 2 books. And so it kind of follows her I guess you could say being a supportive friend of her friend being in love at the same time as she's in love with him. And then she meets this guy, and he's a single dad. His wife died. So you go along that journey of them falling in love and just the guilt of moving on once your person passed. And it was nice. It was sad. I'm not gonna lie, it made me kind of want to read more books like that. Another thing I haven't experienced, thank you Jesus. So those are my top 5 in the quarter. I kind of feel like I already know what's going to be the top 5 in the next quarter, although we're only in the first month because it's April, the end of April now. If you watched it all the way through, I haven't had a comment yet on any of my videos, so I think it would kind of be really exciting, being really just raw right here, if somebody would leave a comment, preferably a nice comment, you know, like let's not be mean, but if you have to, mean, but let's not. If you read any of these books, which one was your favorite? That would be cool, so I could show my kids like, oh my god, mommy got a comment. But so that was my top 5 of the quarter, so I'll see you next time.